Hey, my name's Ashley Power. I go by the in-game name Trill, and I play main tank for the Dallas Fuel. Been playing main tank for most of my professional career, mainly known for my Winston and Reinhardt play. And today I'm going to give you some tips on how to make space for your teammates and how to enable your DPS. Today's tips I'm going to talk about are specifically about Reinhardt shield usage and how not to waste your shield and how to use it properly, positioning, what they're doing with flanks and stuff like that, and the decisions you can make judged on what they're doing. And lastly, your role in your own team, depending on what your team composition is and your purpose in that team. Hey, we're going to start talking about the first tip, and for this example, I'm going to use King's Row defense here, a very common Rhine map, and this concept applies to any map and any point, so I'll give you some tips about how to charge your Rhine shield and how to use it properly. So a common place is this place right here to start, King's Row defense. So you can scout their comp by looking out the window here. You can scout a bit here as well by looking down there. And this is a very common place to start and just see what they have and have some sort of space and presence and not just let them in for free. And with recharging shield, a nice way to think about it as well is if they have an enemy Rhine and their Rhine is not showing and you are, maybe you don't have to use your shield. Their Rhine isn't using his shield, so you don't really have to either. A common place for recharging shield is this corner right here. You can use this one if you still want to hold forward, or this one back here. This is two very common spots, and you kind of figure them out as you play more, and you'll see these two spots used a lot in pro play and just Reinhardt play in general. And another thing about using these corners as well is you can swing at these corners and get damage out while recharging your shield, just like this. And that's a nice little easy way to just recharge your shield and not just stand here like I see a lot of bad Rhine players will do. Will just stand, hold the shield, it'll break, and they expect something to happen in that. You need to be mindful of your shield. It's not something that you just have fully, you let it go down to 0 and then you recharge it. That's not how you play Reinhardt at all. Talk about enemy flanks, their positioning, and their comp and how you want to make decisions around that. So using King Rose as an example, and a very common flank spot is if they're running dive and you're on Reinhardt, is using their DPS and their tanks using this side of the map right here. So very obvious thing, if you're holding forward and their DPS gets behind you up there, if you're holding here, you're doing something wrong. The DPS can shoot you on the back for free. There's no point to be here. It's just you're literally just feeding at that point. So you really need to take into account where their positioning is, and that is good. It goes for every single hero of theirs. And if they're playing a Reinhardt comp and somebody else is flanking, you can make a decision with your team, or if you like to be the leader yourself, make the call that you can either make a decision to you back up when there's flankers. You can back up and just hold back more, and you get someone to deal with the flankers, or you kind of just hold more passive. And then, or another option is identifying when the flankers are there and you guys are maybe say a rush comp, so you can just speed boost at the other teammates, or the other enemies rather, who are just standing over here, and you can catch them off guard where it's a 4v6 instead of a 6-on-6. And it very much depends on their comp, so you want to see what comp they have and where they're positioned, and it's just going to help you make better decisions overall in game. And it gets you very far in game for sure, because Overwatch is a game very much around decision making. So yeah, so taking in mind where their DPS could be, what they're trying to do, and you can make a value decision off that. Alright, so now we're going to talk about your purpose in the team, your pick depending on your teammates, and what sort of comp you guys want to run and how you want to run it. So you have obviously all your tanks here down here. You have your generally Monkey for dive, Reinhardt for those Reinzari comps, or a comp where you just want to hold shield or play around shields. The Orisa comp where you want to bunker down on points, generally 2 CP and stuff like that. These are the 3 main tanks that you're generally going to play. You don't really play much other tanks outside of this, maybe on occasion ball, but generally these are the 3 main tanks you play. So first of all, you can talk to your team and say what comp you want to play, so you can pick first sort of thing and talk about what comp you want to play. Or if you really want, you can pick around your teammates, see what your teammates have. So for example, if your teammates are running Tracer Genji, Reinhardt's not very good, Rusa's not very good in that comp, because what your Tracer and Genji is doing, they're trying to look for backline, you're trying to look for dives and killing the supports. So So thinking about that, so you probably want to pick Monkey in this scenario. And if your teammates are running like Junkrat Widow and it's a 2CP like Anubis or something, maybe Orisa will be the pick because she has the 10-second shield that she can keep putting up. Doesn't really have to like recharge her shield, and her pull is very valuable in those comps where you just want to bunker down, hold a position, and just spam with Junkrat and your Widow looks for headshots. So like these are the type of comps that like you have like certain hero picks for. So it's very important to figure out the best way to enable your team comp and like what you're trying to do and your purpose of that comp. And it's not very one-dimensional, it's Overwatch, so there's a lot of things that can change. You want to be thinking and you want to be trying to assess what's happening and really trying to learn what's happening, because that's what's going to make you climb and make you improve. And hopefully with these 3 tips, like, you can climb higher than you already are. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.